highways of America, every day roll 30 million automobiles, more than twice as many as in all the rest of the world combined. Who put these millions of cars on the road? Was it the engineers who designed them? Was it the manufacturers who built them? Was it the people who advertised them? Of course, each played an important part, but in the final analysis, it was salesmen who actually put them there. And high in that great profession are Ford salesmen. They indeed are the stokers of the great River Rouge plant, because every car or truck they sell makes more jobs for more men. This picture is a tribute to the men who are the greatest producers in the Ford selling organization. For just as many of the most successful dealers are using more modern and more efficient methods in their business today, so too the country over, in cities, towns, hamlets, outstanding Ford salesmen have adjusted their way of doing business in keeping with the up-to-date procedure demanded by modern merchandising. They know that after all, there are only three things you have to do to sell anything. First, find a person who can buy. Second, present and demonstrate your product so he'll want it. Third, help him make up his mind to buy now. Proof of the success of these leading salesmen in applying the fundamentals can be seen in their earnings, which run $5,000, $7,500, and even $10,000 a year. Truly, they have recognized the great opportunity this business offers and have capitalized on it. The 30 million car owners of the United States, to them, represent a challenge because they know that 1 out of every 4 of these owners will change his car or truck for another new or used unit in the coming 12 months. Whether they reach those buyers through the formality of a prearranged appointment or through a cold approach matters little, as long as they are confident that the product they are selling and the service they can offer are worthy of their best efforts. We went to these men believing that their experiences will help put more money into the pockets of all Ford salesmen. They told us of their methods that help them make more sales and increase their earnings. In this picture, we have combined their words and experiences into a composite Ford salesman. Meet Tom Gordon. Now, there's nothing exceptional about Tom. There are scores like him in the cities, towns, and villages of the nation. Alert, hard-hitting, resourceful salesmen, and mighty proud of their calling. Let's follow him around for a day and see how he gets the most out of his job by making the most of his time.
What, no second cup?
No thanks, dear. It's nearly 7:30. Goodbye.
Goodbye, dear.
Take it easy, pal.
And don't you forget to call Hazel Priestley. I told her you'd show her a new car.
It's practically done. But don't spend the commission till you hear from me.
And so begins this day in the life of a Ford salesman. First, he puts his car in order, for a demonstrator is really an office on wheels.
You going downtown?
Yes, I am.
Hop in, I'll give you a lift.
Well, thanks. This is mighty kind of you.
Glad to do it. My name's Tom Gordon.
Mine's Blake.
Don't you drive?
Well, not at present. I've been wanting to get a car, but right now I just can't see my way clear.
Doesn't take much. I'm in the business, so I know. We've got some good cars. Wouldn't cost you much more than $5 a week.
But a car that cheap wouldn't be in very good shape, would it?
Sure. We guarantee practically every car we sell. Suppose I figure out a couple of propositions for you.
Okay, do that.
There's a car we can use. Excuse me. Good morning. You want to sell this car today?
No, I don't think so. Why?
Well, I have a prospect for a car like this, and he'll pay a darn good price. If you're interested, give me a ring. Just a moment till I get that license number. I want to call that fella.
You can let me off the next corner.
Surely.
Well, thanks a lot, Mr. Gordon.
You're entirely welcome, Mr. Blake. I'll drop those figures off at your house on my way home tonight.
Okay.
Say, Tom, why the taxi service?
Listen, when you see a man waiting on a street corner at 7:30 in the morning, you can be pretty sure of two things. He has a job, and he hasn't a car. And if he has a job, he can buy some kind of a car.
That's putting in your time to good advantage. 2 contacts before 8 o'clock.
My principal investment in this business is time, so I can't afford to waste it. And right now, it's time for the morning meeting.
It's the most intensive direct mail campaign in the history of the industry. Here's how we tie in with it. In this file are the names of every owner of one of those cars in our town. Now, you get 5 of those names each day and report on them the following morning. Here are the cars we want to trade for to balance our stock. And I'll give $5 extra for every one you can get before midnight. Remember, you can't sell anything unless you talk to people. And 50 cars are going to be sold right here today, so let's get our share. That's all, boys.
Up and at 'em, men.
Well, I'll have one of those in the bag by noon.
How about you, Tom? Gonna try for 2. Same here. See you later.
Good luck, boys.
Fill her up, Mac.
Okay.
What's new and exciting? Any hot leads today?
I'll say. One of my regular customers, Mr. Harrington, you know, the lawyer, wrapped himself around a telephone pole last night.
Tough luck. I mean, swell. I'll get right after him.
Well, people like that shouldn't be allowed to drive.
It's a darn shame, Mr. Harrington. I just wondered if we could be of any help to you.
In what way?
We could estimate repairs to your car, or perhaps you'd be interested in trading. You know, I honestly think you'd be better off to buy a new car than to put much money into repairs.
Well, maybe so. It's an idea.
Hi, Whitey. What's new?
Not much.
Haven't you got even a suspect for me today?
Well, Mr. Bates here in the building came down in a cab this morning. I heard him squawking about his car.
What floor's he on?
3rd.
Bates, huh? Let me off there. Tell me, Mr. Bates, what kind of a deal would it take to put you into a new car today? We have owners on practically every floor in this building, and I'd certainly like to get one in your organization.
I don't believe I'd be interested. My wife has just about decided what she wants. You know how women are. I don't think you could change your mind.
Any objections to my trying?
Not a bit. I don't care either way.
We don't believe there's an automobile on the market that's finer or better built than ours. And we'll go the limit on a deal to put one of our cars into this office.
Save your best offer for the missus. You'll need it.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Bates. Hello, George. It's Tom Gordon. I've been trying to see you all week.
Thanks a lot for that package you sent over. The little woman was tickled to death.
Well, I'm glad she liked it. Anything on foot?
Yeah, a customer in here this morning talked about getting a new car. Just a minute, I'll give you his name and address. His name is,
I'll get right after him. Thanks a lot, George. I'll see you later. Pardon me, sir. Is this your car?
Certainly is. Why?
My name's Tom Gordon. I'm with Cook Motor Sales. If I could get you more money for your car than it's worth, would you trade today?
I hadn't thought of buying a new car.
How much do you want for your car to do business today?
What'll you give me?
Name a figure you'd be willing to take.
You're in the business. What would you say it's worth?
Well, let's see. Here it is. According to market, your car is worth about $300.
But you said you'd give me more than it's worth.
That's right, I did. How much more do you want?
I'll have at least 100 more anyway. Say 400?
Suppose I write up an order giving you $375 for your car.
Oh, no. Make that 400 and maybe we can get together.
That's a mighty long price, Mr.
My name's Tillman.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll run your car over and see if I can get the boss to okay the deal.
But I need my car today.
You can drive mine. Besides, there's no use my talking to my boss on a long deal unless I can show him the car he's got to take and trade.
Well, all right.
My car's right behind yours. Here we are, Mr. Tillman. Here are the keys.
Here are mine.
Get acquainted with a modern automobile. I'll see you later.
All right.
Now, don't tell me they're all as easy as that.
Oh, no, not all of them. But some of them are. Of course, I get turned down plenty. Why, only yesterday I walked up to a fellow and said, "Pardon me, sir, is this your car?"
No, I just stole it. What's it to you?
"Well, I'm Tom Gordon of Cook Motors. If I could give you a good deal for your car, would you trade today?"
I don't talk business on the street to fellows who have their office under their hat.
Oh, no, it doesn't work every time. For example, another fella came right back at me with,
What do you mean you'll take my car?
"Well, you can drive mine."
I don't know you, and I'm not in the habit of turning my car over to strangers.
You meet a lot of tough guys, sure. But you don't lose anything by asking them, and you'd be surprised how much business it'll get you. Now I gotta put this Tillman deal up to the boss.
What have you got, Tom?
Deal on one of the cars you want.
Fine.
Mr. Tillman will go for a super deluxe two-door with heat and music.
What has he got, and what'll it take to buy it?
37 Plymouth, books at 314, and he wants 400. Here's Jim's appraisal.
Well, let's see. Retails for 340, wholesales at 245. It'll take 1750 to condition it. Now let's get to work. The gross is 222.
Now, don't forget there's some accessories with this deal.
That's right, Tom. Heater and radio. That's 1950 more. That gives us 241.50. Tillman wants 400, and the gross is 241.50. So we'll be putting 158.50 into the car. Okay, Tom. Mr. Tillman has bought himself an automobile. Even figuring the commissions and overhead. It's a pretty fair deal.
Well, there's just one more thing, boss.
Yes?
Well, this is one of the cars you said...
I get you. What a memory. Tell Miss Fay to give Tom $5 and charge it to the bonus account.
Thanks, boss. Get me an outside line, will you? Hello, Mr. Tillman. I got good news for you. Boss okayed the deal at your figure. I thought you would be. Well, he said it was about $25 more than he really should have gone, but he's dealing today on your terms, providing you help us sell another car. Now, that's fine, Mr. Tillman. Your car will be serviced and ready for you at 2:30. Well, you can bring back my car then. Thank you. Goodbye. Hello, Miss Priestley. It's Tom Gordon. Mildred said you'd like to drive the new car. Well, may I drop around this afternoon? Well, that's fine. Thank you, Miss Priestley. Hello, Miss Gregory. This is Tom Gordon of Cook Motors. I called to ask how your car's running. Oh, that's grand. I thought of you and Dr. Gregory this morning. I'd like you to see a new car that just came in. It's a beautiful Lockhaven green sedan coupe, trimmed in taupe broadcloth. Brand new body type that looks for all the world as though it were custom built. Well, as soon as I saw it, I said, there's the car for the Gregorys. May I bring it over this evening around 8? That's perfectly all right. We'll make it tomorrow evening then. Thank you. Goodbye.
Getting pretty near lunchtime, isn't it, Tom?
Mm-hmm, nearly noon. I try to call 5 owners of competitive cars every morning before I go out to eat. Hello, Mr. Shepard. This is Tom Gordon of Cook Motors. Are you still driving your 1938 Chevrolet? Oh, well, then I'm just 2 weeks too late. We'll be glad to have you bring your car in for service. Thank you. Goodbye.
The people on that direct mail list do buy, don't they?
Of course they do. I found that out. Well, better luck this time. Hello, Mr. Grandy. Harvey Cook of Cook Motors asked me to call you. You have a 37 Plymouth, haven't you? You're lucky. Well, we have a buyer who wants a 37 Plymouth, and if your car is in reasonably good condition, I'm sure I'll be able to get you an extremely long price for it today. Well, maybe it hadn't occurred to you, Mr. Grandy, but really, you'll hardly be able to turn down the deal we're prepared to make. Well, I couldn't make any promise without first seeing the car to make sure it'd satisfy the customer. We'll have to work fast. When can I see your car? No, that's not too early. Well, thanks a lot. You've certainly helped us out. Would you look up these license numbers for me while I'm out to lunch, Miss Fay?
Certainly.
Give me one of your best 5-cent cigars.
That's one of the best.
Keep the change, sugar, and buy yourself a good meal when you go out to lunch.
Mr. Gordon, you and your old gag.
Remember, old gags for new prospects. Now, don't forget me. Having trouble?
Thanks, boss. Thank you very much. No trouble that I can't fix.
Why don't you buy a good late model used car?
I've been fixing to do that. I just ain't got around to it, I guess.
Well, we got a dandy right now. Spotlight, special horns, radio, and what a paint job. It's a bright red.
It is?
Drop around this afternoon, take a look. Ask for me, Tom Gordon.
I sure enough will.
Do those windshield propositions get you any business, Tom?
I'll say they do, or I wouldn't be putting out 10 of them every day on the best cars during lunch hour. Read that one.
I have a man who will buy this car. Can get you the best deal you ever made. Call me quick. Tom Gordon.
Hello, Tom. Still autographing windshields? That's just what I'm doing. Here, have a smoke on me and tell me some good news.
Thanks. Not an idea today, Tom.
By the way, did you ever do anything about that dentist? Oh, he's on vacation. He'll be back Tuesday. I'll be seeing you.
Okay.
Got those telephone numbers for me, Miss Fay?
Here they are, Mr. Gordon.
Thanks. How about the Tillman deal?
It's been approved, and the papers will be ready in half an hour.
Fine. Will you check with Ted in the shop and make sure the car's serviced and ready at 2:30? And get me an outside line.
Gladly.
Take over, Tom. I'm hungry.
Carry on a minute for me, will you, fellow, while I make a couple of calls? Hello, is Mr. Shaw in? Can you tell me if he's bought a new car yet? Thanks a lot. I'll call later.
Well, that was important.
As a matter of fact, it has possibilities. She said not yet. If they haven't been thinking new car, they certainly are now. Get that pair for me, will you, Neil?
Yeah, sure. Good afternoon. Butler's my name.
And mine's Burke. This is Mrs. Burke.
How do you do?
How do you do?
It's a beautiful car, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
Just step over here and look at those smooth flowing lines. Notice that they give the feeling of speed, of movement.
What's this car deliver for?
$879, Mr. Burke. You see the graceful sweep of that front fender? Now, there's a car that'll stand out in any company.
Does that include all these accessories?
Everything but the radio and heater. As I was saying, I want you to observe the handsomely tailored interior and the width of those seats.
What did you give me for my Pontiac on this car?
Why,
Your name Gordon?
well, no, it isn't.
My name is Gordon.
Oh, so you're the fellow who put this card in my car.
That's right, I did.
Does it mean anything?
That's exactly what it says. Our used car department's had a call for a car like yours.
Well, what is it worth?
Well, let's see. You like this car here. You'd certainly want a radio and heater in it. Now, what about white sidewall tires?
I'm going to take the radio and the heater out of my old car.
Well, nowadays, those accessories are greatly improved, and also they're engineered right into the car. Your old radio just wouldn't fit or look right in a new car. And you really wouldn't be saving much money either.
That old radio wasn't much good.
Well, maybe. Well, what kind of a deal can I get?
That's your car out in front, isn't it?
That's it.
Is that a 6 or an 8?
It's an 8 and in fine shape. Fact is, I've just spent $14 on the motor.
Looks clean.
And it is clean. 2 or 3 of my friends want to know, and I get ready to turn it in.
Well, tell him it's here, and if our man doesn't take it, we'll give him a dandy buy. How much do they offer you?
Oh, we didn't get as far as that, but they'd pay plenty, I'm sure of that.
How much?
What difference does that make? How much will you give?
Well, I just wondered what you expected.
Well, naturally, it's worth more on a new car.
How much do you want?
Make me an offer, and then I'll tell you whether I'll accept. Anyway, before I decide, I want to get a couple of other propositions.
Well, here's the point. We want you driving one of our cars, and you won't trade unless you get a good price. So what's it going to take?
Well, I should think you know what cars are worth better than we do.
Well, Mrs. Burke, they're worth exactly what the public will pay for them. And any newspaper will tell you what they're selling for. Now, let's take a look at yesterday's ads. Now, here's one like your car at $419. And here's one at $435. And here's one at $395.
Oh, those prices are ridiculous.
Maybe they are, but that's what they're selling for. And remember, these cars have been reconditioned. Mr. Burke, just what kind of a deal is it going to take to put you in a new Ford right now?
Not a dime less than $475.
Okay, it's a deal, if I can get the boss to approve it. Now, if you'll just step right in here and fill out an application, I'll get a man to look over your car. Have you your title with you?
Yep.
We can make delivery any time you say. Just make yourselves right at home, folks. Won't take long.
Another deal, Tom?
Yes, here it is.
At $475. Kind of steep. Car in any kind of shape?
Jim's looking it over out in front now.
Deluxe four-door with a heater. Is that all the extras you'll take?
He even wanted to leave off the heater.
Delivers for $889 plus $20 for a heater. What'll the Pontiac bring?
About 4 bills.
Here you are. It ought to bring $390. Take about $15 to put her on the lot. Skin's a little bare in front, but I can switch rubber.
Thanks, Jim.
Yes, sir.
That makes it worth about $375. Suppose you go for another 25?
I don't know. He's pretty cagey.
Well, it isn't the best deal you've ever made, Tom. See if you can get another 25. Maybe you can get him to take the one on the floor with the heater and radio in it.
I think I can put it over.
You know perfectly well that old heater and that old radio would look awful in a nice new car.
All right, all right.
Well, the boss didn't exactly congratulate me when I laid this one in front of him.
What did he say?
If you're willing to take that car on the floor with the radio and heater in it, it's a deal.
Hey, you know this fella Tom Gordon?
Sure do. He parks his car here 2 or 3 times a week.
Is he a square shooter?
He'll do just what he says. Lots of my friends have done business with him. Well, your car's all ready. Oh, Ted, I want you to meet our service manager. Mr. Tillman, this is Ted Farnsworth.
How do you do? How do you do, Mr. Tillman? Pleased to know you, I'm sure.
He's taking delivery of this job.
Oh, splendid, and you're getting a fine car, too. And we're going to see that you get the utmost in driving pleasure out of it.
Thank you.
Here's your instruction book and your service policy. Be sure to bring your car in at 300 and 1,000 miles for your regular service inspection. I'd appreciate it if you'd look me up when you bring your car in. Will you do that?
I'll be glad to.
Oh, Mr. Cook.
Yes, Tom?
Mr. Tillman, this is Mr. Cook.
How do you do, sir?
How do you do?
Driving out your new car, eh? I want you to know we certainly appreciate your business.
One more thing. If you have any friends in the market, we'll make them a good deal, too.
We surely will.
Let me say, Mr. Cook, I never bought a car so fast in my life. When I got the old one, it took me the better part of the afternoon. Well, so long.
See you later. Say, I've got to get going. I have an appointment with a friend of my wife, Miss Priestley.
Good luck.
It's awfully nice of you to do this, Mr. Gordon. Because, you see, we haven't definitely decided to buy a new car yet.
No trouble at all, Miss Priestley.
My, but it's nice looking, isn't it?
We think so. And I imagine you'll be just as pleased with the way it rides and handles. Would you like to drive?
Oh, no, thanks. You'd better drive until I see how it works. Oh, I like this. Certainly is attractive.
And everything's so convenient. All control buttons, your starter, your windshield wiper are right here.
I had no idea there was so much room.
And don't you like this smart tailored upholstery? This broadcloth's a good serviceable color, and it wears like iron.
Does it shift easily?
Takes no effort at all, and it's always dependable.
My, this gets away faster than our car.
I don't think you can beat it for smooth pickup.
How are these cars on gas and oil?
Tops. In a stock car economy run recently in California, it finished first in its class. There just isn't any better.
This street's been torn up for simply ages. There are a couple of bad bumps up ahead where you have to slow down.
Good. We'll see how well this car takes it. You just seem to glide over the bumps.
Well, that wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, they've really done a grand job with the ride. You've noticed the cushions are softer and more comfortable.
Yes, I have.
Well, here's a nice stretch for you to take over.
Well, I'm really just a little bit nervous. I hope I don't do anything wrong.
Don't worry. 3 minutes behind the wheel and you'll feel right at home. Just raise that lever to your left and we'll move the seat forward.
Oh, my, this is better.
Did you notice the seat rises as it comes forward?
Yes, I did.
With all the extra glass we've added this year, you get a clear view of the road and everything that's going on around you. You ready to go?
Mm-hmm. It does handle easily. Goodness, how it scoots along.
You'll like the way it hugs the curves, too. I don't believe there's a car on the road that can beat it. It's marvelous in traffic, isn't it?
It certainly is.
That's because it's so flexible, and also because you always have the car under complete control. Do you know the Van Alstons?
Oh, yes. That's their house we're passing. They have a lovely home.
I sold Mrs. Van Alston that car a week ago.
You did?
They're thinking about giving their daughter a convertible as a graduation present.
Mm. Well, here we are. I'm actually sorry to be back home again. My, those brakes work smoothly.
There are no better hydraulic brakes made. They really stop when you tell them to. Well, what do you think of it?
Well, I've enjoyed every moment of it. And you can be sure I'll tell my husband all about it.
You'd better take these along. They may help you.
Oh, thanks so much, Mr. Gordon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mr. Peckham?
Right here.
How are you, Mr. Peckham? Thought I'd drop around and get acquainted. My name's Tom Gordon. I'm with Cook Motor Sales back in town.
Oh, you sell Fords, huh?
Yes, I've been with them for years. I sold a neighbor of yours a car last week, Wilbur Logan. Have you seen it?
Yes, I saw it at church last Sunday.
Nice-looking car, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You take a ride in it?
No, not yet.
Well, say, I've got a car outside. Would you like to try it?
Well, not today. I got to get on with my chores.
I don't suppose I could give you a lift, could I?
Oh, no, but thanks just the same.
Well, say, Mr. Peckham, I'd like to leave this book with you. It'll answer any questions you might want to ask about the car.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll look it over.
I'll drop around in a day or two and give you and the family a ride.
Well, that'll be fine.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Say, Tom, just what did you accomplish there, if anything?
Maybe more than you think I did. Farmers won't be hurried. They don't like to be sold. They like to buy. Furthermore, they not only know a lot about machinery, they have great respect for Henry Ford, what he stands for and what he makes. Mr. Peckham will study that presentation book, and when I go back, he'll be half sold. That's the way I handle him, and it works for me. hello, Gordon. Come in.
Thank you.
How'd that panel unit work out for you, Mr. Ballard?
It did first rate over one of our toughest routes.
That's just what I expected. How about giving me an order?
Hey, take it easy. First, tell me, why do I have to pay more for your panel?
Well, look, Mr. Ballard. Take this pen of yours. I don't know what you paid for it, but I'd say at least $10. Now, you could have bought a pen that would write for $1.50. Now, if I can prove to you, and I mean prove, that Ford gives you more value, will you buy?
I'll at least listen. Go ahead.
You have to give your cakes and pastries an easy ride to keep down damage and cripples, don't you?
Well, that's right.
All right, to do this, we give you a panel that has double-acting shock absorbers, front and rear, as standard equipment. The other fella charges you $15 extra.
And that's an item. Go ahead.
This means money to you. We have a tongue-and-groove floor construction that seals out dust and dirt. And the only way you can get that on some other units is to have it specially built.
Mm-hmm.
Take our oversized battery, our valve seat inserts that postpone valve grinding for thousands of extra miles, semi-centrifugal clutch that's more expensive construction, worm and roller steering for longer life and easier handling, larger brakes for greater safety, and dozens of other features. And when you come to our exchange parts policy, well, there's just no comparison. Take the generator, for example. We furnish it for $7.75, and some other manufacturers get $19 for it. Well, Mr. Ballard, what about that little old difference now?
Well,
On some of your routes, our four-cylinder job would be ideal. It idles on 1/2 the gas of bigger motors, and that means savings. Now, here's another thing. Mr. Harrington, please. Well, that's very wise. He was pretty badly shaken up, I imagine. Well, just tell him Tom Gordon called. I was going to take him home. Goodbye. Well, Mr. Bates, it's Tom Gordon. I'm going to be in your neighborhood in half an hour. How about me driving you home? Well, that's fine. I'll stop right in front of your building.
Man, that's something.
Doesn't exactly hesitate, does it, Mr. Bates?
No, I'll say it doesn't. Thanks, Gordon.
You're entirely welcome, Mr. Bates.
Good night.
Good night. Nice dinner, Mrs. Gordon.
Thank you. We serve pretty good food here. You ought to drop in more often for dinner.
It's an idea.
Nice work, Tom. You certainly made good use of your time today. Let's see, you closed 3 deals. Tillman, Burke, and that red used car. You know, there are hundreds of Ford salesmen like you who are making big money by making every minute count. You made a lot of good friends, too. And it's a safe bet that right this minute they're thinking about Tom Gordon and Ford.
My Ed, but that car handled beautifully.
You know, it's certainly remarkable what they give you for your dollar in these new cars.
I can't help talking about it. I never saw a car get away like that before.
Maybe he's right. I don't know whether I ought to spend all that money to fix up the old car.
It's going to be such a relief not to have to listen to that old radio anymore.
And then I won't be cussing out the bus service every morning.
Won't do any harm to give him a call. Uh-huh. Yeah. Just wait till you see it, honey. You never seen anything so red.
Say, I feel like going somewhere. What do you say?
There's a picture at the Royal I'd love to see.
I'll buy that. Give me 20 minutes and I'll be ready.
It's a deal, Salesman Gordon.